Hey guys, JJ here with Ron's Equipment Company, and today we're going to go over the interior controls on the Massey Ferguson 1835M. So, starting over here next to the seat, on the left hand side of the seat, if you're sitting in the seat, you've got your range selector right here. That's going to be low, medium, and high, or as you can see in the little graphics that are next to it, snail, turtle, and rabbit. You also have two neutral positions. This is a hydrostatic tractor, of course, so as you can see over here, you do have a forward and reverse pedal. So you simply select the range that you want, low, medium, or high, and then press on the pedal over there, depending on whether you want to go forward or in reverse. So that covers that. Behind that, you can see here, we've got your PTO engage lever. As it sits now, it's towards the back of the cab, back towards the back window. That's going to be neutral, as you can see down there in the diagram. To engage it, you're going to move the lever forward to where it says 540 there. And then over on the side of the steering column here, you can see you have two buttons there. That top right button is going to be your soft engage right up here. And then this one will actually engage the PTO. The soft engage is basically a feature. It's nice. I use it on mine. And it's a feature that allows the PTO to start spinning slowly and then gradually build up to speed so that you don't break a shear bolt on whatever attachment you have that you're using. So that covers that. Back over here, you can see this rear. So real quick, to go back to the PTO engagement lever, you can see that there's two slots back here, and they do a good job of showing you in this picture. You know, on this one you can see this is your symbol for PTO. Looks kind of like a star or a gear. It's a picture of the PTO shaft is what it is. It's behind the tractor, so this is going to be your rear PTO. They do offer an option, and you can see they're trying to show you in the picture here, for a mid-mount PTO. We normally don't order the tractors with that just because it is a little bit pricey, and not a lot of people use attachments that require a mid-mount PTO, you know, whether it be a belly mower or a front-mounted snowblower or something like that. So it is available. You can add it after the fact, but most of the ones that we order from the factory, we don't order with the mid-mount PTO. But I get questions about that a decent amount, about what that other slot is for. So that's what's going on there. In addition to that, this next lever here is going to be your four-wheel drive engagement. And once again, you can see in the pictures that when the lever is up, the front wheels are not activated. When the lever is down, that's what they're showing you here. When you push this lever down, then your front wheels are engaged as well. So that's how you turn on your four-wheel drive. There will also be an indicator, trying to show you on the dash. It's not lit up now, of course, but there will be an indicator that comes up in yellow when your four-wheel drive is activated. All right, and now up to the front here. This button right here is going to be your cruise control. So the way that works is you get going the speed that you want to be going. Super handy for when you're mowing or something like that, where you're out there for a long time and you don't want to keep pushing on the pedal. You get going the speed that you want to go and you push it, and then that will engage the cruise control, and then you can take your foot off the pedal and the tractor will maintain the speed that you set it at. And then to disengage it, you know, just either push on either one of the forward or reverse pedals. I would always push on the forward pedal myself, and then that will kick it out of cruise control. I believe it'll also do it if you hit the brake. So that's what that button right there does. Next to it, you can see here, max speed. You can adjust the max speed of the tractor. And I get people that ask me, why would I want to adjust that? Well, let's say that you're in, you know, a tight spot and you're doing some heavy loader work. Maybe you're cleaning out a horse stall or something like that. And so what this is going to allow you to do, you know, you're in your tight spot, so you know that you're not going to be going real fast wherever you're going, but you're doing some decent loader work. I would turn that, you know, you can even turn it all the way down to turtle. You don't have to. You can put it somewhere in the middle, whatever you're feeling, whatever feels right for you. But what that allows you to do is that then you can still have your RPMs up. You know, you throttle the tractor up which is going to be done right over there on that little orange guy. That's going to be your hand throttle, which will control your engine RPMs. You can turn your RPMs all the way up so that you still have full hydraulic flow going to your loader, but at the same time, when you go to move, it's not going to be real jumpy like it would when you have the RPMs all the way up and you have the speed turned up on this dial. So it just makes it to where the tractor reacts slower, and then your top speed is also going to be slower. And this one right here, slow quick response, that's what you're doing there, is how quickly it responds from forward to reverse. So on your two pedals there, you know, if you have it turned to the quick side, it's going to respond really quick. Might make it a little jumpy. If you turn it to the slow side, it's going to be a lot smoother, but there will be more of a delay when you go from forward to reverse. So that's what those are for. Let's hop in here and we can start showing you all the other stuff. So over here on the right side of the seat, this back lever here is going to be for a hydraulic remote. So that would plug in the back of the tractor. And then, you know, if you have, let's say, you know, a common attachment we sell that you would use that remote for would be either a snow blower or a snow blade. On the blower, this will control, if you have a hydraulic chute rotator, this will control that, so you can change which way you're blowing the snow. And if you have a rear blade with hydraulic angle, this would adjust the angle of the blade. You can add up to 3 remotes on these tractors. They're going to come with one standard, and you can add an additional 2. Over on this side, this is going to be your 3-point control. So pushing it forward will lower the 3-point in the rear. Pulling it back will raise the 3-point in the rear. And then you can use these, you know, let's say you had your mower on there or something like that, you know, and maybe there's a max height, or you have an attachment on there, a blower or something like that, and you know that if it comes up too far, you know, maybe it's going to make contact with the tractor or something like that, and so you need to put a stop in there so that it won't raise that high. Boom, you move that little knob there, and then that creates a stop. You can do the same thing on the downside. This one honestly will probably get used more, just because, like example for mowing or a rear blade or something like that, once you get it hooked up and everything and you find the height that you want to mow at, you can set your stop there, you know, let's say that it's right there, and then you push it down, you're going to mow at the same height every time. So very nice for consistency reasons, as you can see. Hard to look at it and do everything at the same time. All right, this slot here, once again, it's an option. I don't know that I've seen a single tractor that we order it on, but you can. This is going to be for draft control. And so what that is, let's say that you're using this tractor to actually farm with or something like that, you know, and you're running a plow and you've got it in the field, you set it down. Well, the natural tendency of a plow is for it to try and go deeper and deeper as you're going across the field. And so what this does is it's going to maintain depth. So different than your 3-point setting, this has a sensor that's actually tied into the top link on the 3-point, and as you go through the field, it will occasionally pick it up to maintain your depth across the entire field. Like I said, not something we ever really order them on, just because not a lot of people are farming with these size tractors, but it is a feature that's available if you are. Hand throttle, you know, full throttle, that's idle. That's what we got going on here with this orange guy. On these newer tractors that do have a diesel particulate filter, you want to make sure that you're keeping your RPMs up. You know, if you're letting the tractor just sit there and idle a whole lot, you're going to have to do more regens and everything, just because that filter is going to get plugged up more frequently. Whereas if you keep your RPMs up, then the exhaust stays hotter and that filter will stay cleaner and it won't have to regen nearly as often. So helpful tip there, keep your RPMs up and you won't have to regen nearly as often. Now here you've got your loader joystick, standard loader operations here. Pulling back on it will raise the loader forward, we'll lower the loader to the outside, we'll dump, and then to the inside we'll curl the bucket back. And then it also does have a float, so if you push it all the way forward, it'll stay there, and now your loader is in a float position. And that's really handy for if you were back dragging, spreading material or something like that, and you're back dragging it, your loader isn't rigid. It's not gonna dig up the ground as you go. It's gonna follow the contour of the ground. So that's really handy, like I said, when you're back dragging or anything like that. And then you can still adjust your angle of your bucket, but as soon as you pull back, it'll pop out a float. So that's how the float feature works. And then, as you can see, like we talked about at the very beginning, you have a reverse pedal and a forward pedal. So they make it nice and easy. You got your triangles on there to show you which one's which. I really like that feature. You can see right there, we've got our ignition. So key will go in there. You turn it over to that first position. That will be your accessory position. All your lights on your dash and everything will come on. And then in addition to that, if it is cold enough out, you can see it right here. These tractors do have a glow plugs on them. I'm sorry, not a glow plugs, they have glow plugs on them. So if it's got a sensor, and when it registers a certain outside temperature, that light will stay lit. After you key it to the accessory position, it'll stay lit. You need to wait until that light goes out before you start cranking the engine. We also put block heaters on all the ones that we sell. So if you do store the tractor outside, it's always a good idea to plug the block heater in. Usually, probably about 3 hours max. And that'll help it start just a little bit easier if they're in the cold. If you leave them plugged in all the time, it's just gonna, wear that out quicker. So definitely recommend just plugging it in for, about 3 hours max at a time. And you can put it on a timer so you don't have to, if you're gonna plow early in the morning or something like that, throw it on a timer so it comes on about 3 hours before you're ready to go out and plow. Now, as far as starting the tractor, going back over here to this side, you've got your range selector here. You need to either be in neutral as it is now to start the tractor, or you can be in gear. So right there it's in turtle or medium. But to start it in gear, you either have to have your foot on the brake or you have to have the parking brake set. So to set the parking brake, what you're gonna do is you're gonna push this down, the pedals, and then over on this side by the ignition, you've got that lever. Hard to show you while I'm doing it. You push that down, and down far enough and you can feel it. And then the pedals will stay down, and now your parking brake is on, and now the tractor will start even if it's in gear. To release the parking brake, step on the pedal, and the parking brake will release. Now, as you can see, this orange bar down here, let's see if I can get a better shot of it. This is gonna link your brake pedals together, so they'll brake both rear wheels at the same time. You can flip that over, and now you have independent braking, so you can push on one pedal or the other. I mean, honestly, on older tractors that was really handy because they didn't turn very well, and so you could use that to turn sharper. These new tractors turn on a dime. Not a feature I use, but you can if you want. So keep going here. On the side, you have a traditional blinker, which actually does have blinkers on the premium models. You also have your headlights here. First turn will be dims, second click will be brights. So that's what you got going on there. You do have a horn in the center of the wheel. See? You got HVAC controls up here. So you've got fan speed, basically off, low, medium, and high. To turn the AC on, you're gonna actually press on the little snowflake there. You've got fresh air, or you've got recirculate, And then you've got the actual temperature control there. To the right of that, up here at the top of the cab, you've got, going from left to right, you've got front wiper. And then you've got rear wiper. You got front cab lights, rear cab lights. And you've also got squirters on these, so it's kind of got, you know, this is going to be off, this will be on, and then you push it again, and that'll be your squirter. You can feel it. So off, that'll be on, that'll be squirt fluid. So that's how that works. The cabs are going to be pre-wired with speakers. We normally, on the standard cabs, we don't order the radio, but on the deluxe model it'll come with the radio, but the standard ones are radio ready. You just have to put a radio in, but it's already wired and all that good stuff. And hop back out so you can see a few controls under the seat here. So last few controls here, you've got on the side of the seat, this one will slide the seat forward and back. This one will recline the rear of the seat. You do have your seatbelt there. I always recommend you wear your seatbelt when you're operating. You do have armrests. And then you've got, you can adjust the spring of the seat with that lever there. And then you've got two controls or features down here. This one is going to control how quickly the 3-point goes down. Your raise rate will always be the same, but this will control how quickly it sets down. So if you do have a heavy attachment on the back or anything like that, and when you set it down with the 3-point control lever, it's slamming on the ground, then come over here, turn this, you know, to the right towards the turtle, and it'll set down slower, and you can just adjust that to get where you want it. If you do have a backhoe on the back, if you turn this all the way to the right, it will lock the 3-point to where you can't move it, so you don't end up ripping out hoses and that kind of stuff. And then finally, you've got your differential lock for the rear axle. So, you know, let's say you're plowing snow or something like that, you've got it in 4-wheel drive and you're still spinning. You'll push the back of your heel down on this. That will lock your rear axle together to where both rear wheels will spin together. And that's going to give you the most traction. 4-wheel drive and that diff lock locked, that's going to get you the most traction. So that's how that works, and it doesn't stay, it's just on the spring, so you hold it down while you are getting unstuck. As soon as you're unstuck, let off of it and it goes back. So that's how that works. All right guys, well that goes over the interior controls on the Massey Ferguson 1835M. We'll make a separate video going over the regen system. Thanks guys.